with three major transits which are about to happen in the first 3 months of the new year 2025, starting with Saturn, then with Jupiter, and then Rahu Ketu. This is a year that you shouldn't miss to know what's going to be the potential for you, what are going to be the probabilities for you, because what you do, in which direction you move in the next year could even decide what would be the trajectory for the next entire decade. Hello, namaskar and adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel, Astrological. The new year is almost upon us. Just in over a month and a half, we are going to enter 2025. So this is the right time for us to dive in and see what the new year could bring to us in terms of potential, what could bring to us in terms of what are the opportunities for us, what are the probabilities for us, and what are the chances we should not miss because of we being born in a certain ascendant, in a certain rising sign. Because the transits of Saturn, Jupiter and Rahu Ketu, all three are going to happen. Or if you count Rahu and Ketu as 2, 4 are going to happen next year. So how the year will unfold for us by virtue of which sign Saturn rules, where the aspects are, where the transits are moving into. Let's deep dive and see what the new year 2025 will bring forth for each one of our rising sign natives. Now for Aries rising sign people, we know that Saturn is going to move into Pisces somewhere in March, end of March, or you can say beginning of April. Rahu is going to transit away from the Pisces sign, crossing Saturn and moving into the Aquarius sign, and Ketu is going to move into the Leo sign in the opposite axis of Rahu, and Jupiter will move sometime in May, mid-May, from Taurus sign into the Gemini sign. So all these three are going to come by in the first 3 months or 4 months for all of us. And so for Aries sign, rising sign people, these transits are going to be important. Now let's start with the effect of Saturn. Saturn, as we know, will be the one which will also be aspecting the third, with his third aspect, the second house of Taurus, with the seventh aspect, the sign of Virgo, the sixth house, as well as the Sagittarius sign with its 10th aspect. So in a way, Saturn is going to affect Jupiter's both signs by virtue of being in Pisces, Jupiter's one sign where Saturn will be residing, and aspecting the other sign, which is this Sagittarius sign. So this is an important denotation because Saturn rules both your 10th house and your 11th house, and gone into the 12th house of expenses, foreign lands, working in MNCs. So these results where career is getting connected with foreign lands, your education is going to be connected to foreign lands, is also going to come upon Aries rising sign people, along with expenses being important, which means Saturn is giving you a direction that please keep a tab on your expenses, don't go overboard. Secondly, Saturn's aspect on the second house of earnings, which means that this will not be a year for explosive growth, surely, but stable growth, which means many of you will find that at least finance-wise, there won't be too many challenges, though there may not be too many good news either. For some of you, surely. However, for some of you, because Saturn also rules the 11th house of wishes and desires coming true, so for some of you, some wishes and desires, surely, working in large organization, working with large brands may also come upon you. And because Saturn also aspects the 6th house of service, so Saturn's other direction is that please keep a tab on how you're working with people, what kind of competition you are going ahead with, how you're dealing with competition, how are you dealing with hidden enemies. And Saturn's 10th aspect, career aspect, is also on the 9th house in Sagittarius sign. So the transit of Saturn is saying, take some more fun, make some more risks, take more risks in your career, especially where foreign lands is concerned, working in MNCs are concerned. But surely keep a tab on your earnings because this is going to be a stable year, but not a fantastic year for the financial aspect at least. Not for all, but few people may surely get good finances, stable finances surely. Now, the other transit is of Jupiter. Once Jupiter moves into the Gemini sign, Jupiter is going to aspect again the Sagittarius sign So one thing is Sagittarius sign is going to be under the influence of all three, Saturn, Jupiter as well as Ketu. So this is an important result basis that. So Jupiter's fifth aspect is on the seventh house of relationship from the third house of effort. So those Aries sign people who are wanting to get married, please do put in the effort, especially for women. You may get very good results because Jupiter's seventh aspect is on the Sagittarius sign. Now, because Saturn also is going to aspect the Sagittarius sign, which means that it will be gains may come in and stable gains may come in. And with Ketu also aspecting the Sagittarius sign and Jupiter also aspecting the seventh house, which means for those people who have already had one broken relationship, looking for another relationship, the second relationship, this is a good time because Ketu also brings forth a change in the status quo. So the change in the status quo may also come for you. And because Jupiter and Rahu are going to be in mutual aspect with each other throughout the year, Jupiter's aspect on Rahu is going to keep some of your wishes and desires under check. Will not allow you to be too hungry, too manipulative for growth. And so Jupiter's stab will be on Rahu, but Rahu will be aspecting Jupiter back as well, which means that Rahu will be trying to expand your wishes and desires and you will have to put in more effort. Rahu's aspect on Jupiter is in the third house, so it is forcing you to put in more effort. Jupiter is telling Rahu to keep a tab on your wishes and desires. Don't let it become too big, lest they become challenging for you. But surely some of your wishes and desires, as long as they are controlled, will come good for you. So as I said, Rahu's aspect is going to be on Jupiter, but Rahu's other aspect is going to be on Libra, where Jupiter is also going to aspect. So automatically this will mean that relationship with somebody who may be slightly different from you in terms of your ethnic background, from your ethnic background, in terms of your stature, their stature, in terms of how they see life, how they see conjugal life, marital life may be slightly different from you. But that kind of a relationship is surely getting activated, especially from your social circle, acquaintances, friend circle, the larger network circle. And lastly, Ketu's aspects are going to be on the Lagna, which means Ketu is putting a tab on the Lagna and saying this is a chance for career change because Ketu is placed in the fifth house, which is the eighth house from the 10th house of career. And mind you, Saturn also rules your 10th house of career and going into the 12th house. So change is surely upon for many Aries rising sign people, as well as relationship, as well as gains, as well as going to foreign land. So these are the areas which are going to be surely be activated for Aries rising sign people. Especially Sagittarius sign is important for you. So if there is any planet placed in the Sagittarius sign and where Jupiter is placed in among the 12 houses, is going to be an important year for Aries rising sign people. Now for Taurus rising sign people, an important year because Jupiter was more or less in your Lagna throughout the year, now moving into the second house, which Jupiter is the Karaka of second house of earning. So Jupiter is going to expand your earning potential once it goes into the second house. However, Saturn is going to move away from its Mool Trikona sign, in which it was in a Sasha Yoga for more than 2 years, and going to move into the 11th house in the Pisces sign. And this is important because Saturn's aspects, the third aspect is going to be on the Lagna itself. So Saturn, while being placed in the 11th house of wishes and desires, is telling Taurus rising sign people that if you are willing to work hard, if you're willing to bend your back, if you're willing to push yourself, then surely I'll give you stable gains, enhancing your stature, standing in society. I'll give you better health if you're going to willing to put pressure or put effort on your health. But your long-term plans are more important than your short-term goals. So make long-term plans because Saturn's aspect is on the Lagna. Lagna is also your long-term plans. And Saturn's seventh aspect is on the fifth house of romance. So which means if you are in a stable relationship, try to keep it stable unless there are big challenges in your relationship or something, then move away from the relationship. If the relationship is not serving you, move away is Saturn's direction. However, if the relationship is good, if the romance is good, keep it stable. Don't try to make any changes this year, especially because Saturn's 10th aspect is on the 8th house of the 10th aspect of the house is the aspect of career, but in the 8th house, which means those people who work in accounts, finance, tax, audits, insurances, petroleum industry, anything concerned with agriculture, anything connected with other people's monies, all those people, audits, research, IT, they will all be doing good. And career may come good for you. Some of your wishes and desires may also come good for you. And a stature in society may also rise. This is very important because Saturn is the Yoga Karaka, strong Yoga Karaka for Taurus rising sign people, because it rules both the 9th house and the 10th house. So make best use of it. Especially with Rahu being in the 10th house, which means there will be an hunger and desire to do better in your career, because Rahu is going to move somewhere in the 3rd week of May into your 10th house, and Ketu is going to move into the 4th house. This may also bring about a change in your residence, because Ketu is going to transit into your 4th house. So Rahu's higher hunger, greed, Saturn giving you wishes and desires coming true. So there may either be a change in your career, which may also bring an opportunity for either some move in the residence or some change in the residence, some change in how you live your domestic life also. For example, if you start to travel longer distances, obviously you'll have to get up early, come back late from home, late from work. So obviously it will affect your family life. But some of you may even travel long distance away from your home or where your home is currently into a new city also. Some of you may even go to foreign lands for work. This is important. And why is this also being denoted by Jupiter? Because Jupiter is aspecting your 6th house with its 5th aspect. And Sagittarius sign, which Saturn was also aspecting with his 7th aspect, but also aspecting Rahu in the 10th house of career. So Jupiter is also connecting the 10th house of career, 6th house of service, with along with the Saturn's 10th aspect of career on the Sagittarius sign in the 8th house. So here, people who are involved in accounts, any money, working in MNCs, working in those areas where you are a competent authority, where you are a guide, consultant, you are a money expert, this can also come good for you. So very, very important placement for Taurus sign people, especially for career aspects. Then this is important because Rahu and Jupiter is going to be in mutual aspect, and Rahu is also aspecting your 6th house with its 9th aspect of gains. So gains can come in from career if you play the cards right, if you're tactful at work, but don't be too manipulative, because this could be counter-effective. However, Jupiter's aspect is going to be on Rahu and vice versa. So this is overall a good year for you to push for finances, for money also. And as I said, Ketu's aspect, one aspect is on your Sagittarius sign with his 5th aspect, activating a change in career connected to foreign lands also, or connected to multinational corporations, connected to even high expenses. So there may be change in how you see expenses. However, change in your domestic life also. Some of you may want to get into a relationship, or if you are not in a committed relationship yet, then you may change your perspective of a relationship. You may even maybe commit or get committed in the relationship. If you have not had children, because Ketu is moving away from your 5th house into your 4th house, so change in the home environment with a new entrant also in your family. If you're trying to conceive, especially for Taurus rising sign people, of course this is important from your spouse's point of view also, but addition in the family or conception in this year can come also good for you. Now for Gemini rising sign people, firstly, Jupiter is going to move into your Lagna. So this is going to be a good placement, because Jupiter will expand various areas of your life for you, for Gemini rising sign people. And this is also important because Jupiter, while being in the Lagna, will also be in the Kendra from Saturn, but also under the 5th aspect of Rahu. So this is a very, very important year for Gemini rising sign people. On one side, Saturn 3 aspects. The 3rd aspect is going to be on the 12th house of foreign lands, multinational corporation, bases and expenses. But because Saturn is looking at the 12th house while also looking at the 4th house, so a stable year for you. So whatever decision you take in the first 3 months of the year, it will remain stable throughout the year. There will not be many changes, especially connected to career. So if an opportunity is coming by for you in the first 3-4 months, try and think about long-term plans, not short-term plans. Make long-term plans and see whether you really want to take it up. If you want to take it up, if it's good for you, do it, because Saturn says then once you take up that, I'll give you stable relations, results from your career. Don't try to change midway again within 4 months, 6 months, feeling that I'm not feeling good here, I'm not feeling happier. If you're taking a decision in the first 4 or 5 months, stick to the decision, especially when it's connected to career. But this may also have a stable bearing on your 4th house of domestic life. So there will be stable results coming for Gemini rising sign people almost throughout the year. And this is going to be an important year because Saturn is going to remain in the sign for 2.5 years. So it's going to be important year. And because Saturn's aspect is on the 12th house, both expenses but also going to foreign lands, working in foreign lands is important. But Saturn is saying some of you may get married and then go to foreign lands also, because Saturn's 10th aspect of career is getting connected to the 7th house of marriage. So career may get enhanced. Some of you, if you're not in the relationship, if you're getting into a committed relationship, announcing it to the public either through a legal marriage or maybe accepting that you are in a committed relationship, then this is going to be a good period for you. This is also enhanced because Jupiter's 3 aspect. One aspect is going to be on the Libra sign, but in the 5th house. So through a romance, a relationship blossoming and enhancing your gains is also coming by for Gemini rising sign people. It's important because Jupiter's other aspect is on Sagittarius sign, where Saturn's aspect is also there. And Ketu is going to also aspect the same sign, same house. So maybe a change in the status quo where relationship is concerned, where partnership is concerned. So either relationship coming by to romantic liaison. Also, this is a year where partnerships, working in a team effort is very important for Gemini rising sign people. You can't avoid that. This is a critical period for you. And because Jupiter's 9th aspect is on Rahu and Jupiter are in mutual aspect with each other. And from Saturn sign, where Saturn is moving away from the 8th and the 9th house into the 10th house of career. So career is strongly activated. Hunger and greed for results from your career are activated. However, this is going to be connected to learning. So the more you are able to add or use your learning or enhance your learning in your career, the year will be better for you. Especially because Rahu is aspecting Jupiter, it means that try and get a new learning, try and get an international certification also if it's possible. Then it may be better results for you, but keep a tab on how much hunger and desire you have. Some of you may also travel to foreign lands because Rahu is in the 9th house, and the aspect of Jupiter is also in Sagittarius, as well as Ketu's aspect is on Sagittarius as well as Saturn. So surely foreign travel may also come by for some of you. And because Libra sign is also going to be on the aspect of Rahu as well as Jupiter, so getting into a relationship, into a romantic relationship with somebody who's very different or from a different culture, different ethnicity, even from distant lands, is also getting strongly activated. So be careful of how you get into this relationship. This is also important because Ketu is moving away from your 4th house of domestic life into the 3rd house of effort. So when Ketu moves away from a house, it also activates changes to that house, how you're living that house so far. So if you're already married and getting into or in a committed relationship, then don't push the buttons too much. If you get into an office romance or somebody who you meet outside, like an affair or a fling, this can be bad for your domestic life. So Gemini people, surely be careful here. However, there are changes which are going to happen. There is going to be some new acquisition. If you're thinking of buying a car, a house, or real estate, something that you're planning, that this may surely come by, because Ketu is moving away from that house and Saturn aspect going to be also on that house. Now Ketu's other result is going to be Ketu's 5th aspect is going to be on the 7th house in Sagittarius sign. So relationship, new partnership, working in new ways is getting activated. However, Ketu's 9th aspect of learning is on your 11th house of social network, social connections, friendship. So some new friendships may be made, some new connections may be made, moving up a better brand is also getting connected. Some of you may lose some of your friends because of moving away from your native land into some other place, but new relationships may also come by. However, one relationship could be a troublemaking relationship which may go sour. So be careful, because this person can be more experienced than you. Maybe in stature also higher up from you, maybe even somebody who you look up to as a role model. So overall, for Gemini rising sign people, surely expansion in your career, expansion in your stature, expansion in various areas of your life, including going to travel, foreign lands, as well as a relationship. Now for Cancer rising sign people, a few results surely. Cancer is one of the few signs on whose Lagna there is no aspect, no influence at all throughout the year, including for Scorpio sign people, as well as for Capricorn sign people, no effect on Lagna. So surely this is a year where these three signs people, especially now that we're talking of Cancer, you have some relief, because no particular planet is going to influence the Lagna. However, Saturn's aspects is going to be on the 11th house, on the 3rd house of effort, and on the 6th house. So Saturn being in the 9th house in the Sagittarius sign, while ruling the 7th house and the 8th house, which means through a new partnership, through a new connection, you may be able to make new friendships, new social network connections also, which may be good for you, gain making for you. Now, for that, you will surely have to put in the effort, because Saturn's 7th aspect is on the 3rd house of effort. So through effort, you may be able to make your network circle well, which may also be contributing factor to your service, because Saturn's 10th aspect, the service or karma or career oriented access, 10th aspect is on the 6th house of service and over enemies. So Saturn may also give you success over enemies, over hidden competition as well, if you put in the effort and if you make new network connection, new social connections as well. This is important because Jupiter's 7th aspect is also going to be on the Sagittarius sign, but also going to be on the 8th house, which Saturn rules, the Aquarius sign, but where Rahu is placed. And Rahu and Jupiter are going to be in mutual aspect throughout the year. So what does this mean? One, Jupiter's 5th aspect on the Libra sign in the 4th house. So home affairs are surely getting connected, and because Jupiter moving into the 12th house from the 11th house, so Jupiter may is bringing in expansion in foreign lands, working in multinational corporations, working for foreign clients as well, and because it is aspecting your 4th house, maybe even making a big home, a better home, or more prosperous results in foreign lands. So if you're already abroad, some of you may change house into a better house, into a bigger house as well, which is connected to more gains also. However, Jupiter going into the 12th house, which means you may not keep a tab on your expenses. Expenses may also rise, so be a little careful. However, Jupiter's aspect as well as Saturn's aspect is on the 6th house of enemies, which means a lot of you may overcome your enemies, overcome challenges, overcome competition also for this year. However, be careful that don't be too hungry, too manipulative. Be a little tactful, be a little diplomatic, because Rahu's aspect is also going to be on Jupiter from the 8th house. So some turbulence, some challenge, some issues may also come by because of Rahu being placed there. And in addition, Rahu's 5th aspect being going to be on Jupiter, but also on the 4th house in the Libra sign, where Jupiter is also aspecting. So home affairs, home matters are slowly getting activated, because Rahu's 9th aspect is on Libra sign in the 4th house. So don't get into any hidden relationship, hidden affairs, because Rahu is going to transit through your 8th house, because that is going to activate some of the results for you, especially if Rahu is going to come back in a return placement. For some of you, then this is going to be important. And then Ketu's aspect is going to be also on the 6th house of service. So the Sagittarius sign, the 6th house is going to be under aspect of all three, Jupiter, Saturn and Ketu. So results of service are strongly activated. And why service? Because Jupiter's 9th aspect, change bringing aspect, is on the 10th house of career. So some of you, a number of ways, service, career, getting into better brands, making more money, different kinds of money is activated. Now, because Ketu is going to move away from your third house into your second house about money, banking. So be careful of how and where you make your investments and where you're making your speculative investment, like in stocks or shares, because that is going to be a slightly tough area for you. So be really careful how you are looking at money, matters money investments. So keep a tab on your expenses also, especially because Jupiter is going into the 12th house of waste and excess. So this is important for you. And don't be in a hurry if there is a new offer coming for you for any work related, because Ketu's 9th aspect is on the 10th house of career. Because the career change may come by, especially in service. However, you have to do your due diligence, otherwise you may find that the decision may not be that good, especially if you're working for multinational corporations, foreign corporations, or your company has any connection with foreign land. So this is to be something which you have to do your due diligence before you take your decision. However, overall, this is a very good year for Cancer rising sign people. Hardly any blemish on your Lagna. Now, based on where your Lagna Lord is placed in your natal chart, what yogas there it is, those are also going to be very, very important, especially for Cancer rising sign people. Now, for Leo rising sign people, a very, very important year for you. Why a very important year? Because firstly, Ketu is moving away from your second house in transit into your Lagna. So a number of changes overall in many, many areas of your life are getting activated for Ketu sign people. And this is also important because Ketu also rules your fourth house, co-rules it with Mars and placed in the Lagna. So how Mars is placed in your horoscope will also be important. How Sun, the Lagna Lord, is placed in your horoscope is also going to be important. What yogas and doshas there. Now, important is Saturn's 3 aspects. The third aspect is on your 10th house of career. So when Ketu is transiting within roughly 1.5 months from Saturn and Jupiter's transit as well, somewhere midway between April 1 and May 3rd week, all the 3 transits are going to happen of Saturn, Rahu, Ketu as well as Jupiter. So that is the time where any changes that you're thinking of, either looking out for a job or making a change for a job or taking up a new role, are going to be very important, because this is going to surely have a bearing on your standing in society, your stature in society, how people look at you, how your health is going to be, what is going to be a trajectory of life. This will have long-term effects because Saturn is going to remain in the Pisces sign for 2.5 years. So this is going to be an important period for you, how you take decisions. And it's going to be important not only from the career point of view, but also from your income point of view. Because Saturn's 7th aspect, the partnership aspect, the service aspect is on the 2nd house of income, savings, and how what kind of bank balance you have, how you're building your savings also. This is an important year for you, surely from your financial point of view. So try and save more money rather spend more money. So don't be in a hurry to do up the house, do this or do that, especially because Ketu is going into the Lagna. So, but Saturn is guaranteeing you surely stability in income, which means don't overdo expenditure, and Saturn will keep you safe throughout the year, especially from the financial front. Some increment will surely be connected to career. So if you take up a new role, Saturn will, and if you have worked hard, then Saturn will give you a good increment, a decent increment, but not double the income also. This is also important because Saturn's 10th aspect of career is on your 5th house, which is the 8th to the 10th house. So Saturn's 3rd aspect is on career. Saturn's 10th aspect of career change aspect is on the 5th house, which is the 8th to the 10th house. So surely some role change, some move up, some new opportunities coming for Leo rising sign people. This is also important because Jupiter's 7th aspect is also going to be on the Sagittarius sign in the 5th house. And Jupiter's 5th aspect, gain making aspect, is on the 3rd house. So Jupiter is saying that if you work hard, make a change in your career and work hard there, develop your social network, develop your friendship, develop your network, intra-departmental networks, and surely through your effort, huge gains may come by for you. Your wishes and desires may come good for you because Jupiter is moving into the 11th house of wishes and desires coming to you. And for some of you, your wishes and desires may also come good if you put in the effort in your romance, ending up in a committed relationship as well. However, The committed relationship may not come from somebody who is from your ethnicity, from your background. The person may be slightly different or very different from what background you come from. So surely, but through your social network, through your friendship, through your work, through long distance travel, through some educational effort also, you may meet somebody, and Rahu is giving you hunger and desire to get into a relationship. Now, Rahu may also put you in two minds. Should I commit or not? If you really like somebody, at least commit to the person, and maybe after some time, once you're both sure of marriage, then take it forward. But surely this is the area which is getting activated for you. Romance, relationship, putting in effort is getting activated for you. Now, this is also important because the Rahu's aspect is going to be on both Jupiter in the 11th house of wishes and desires, but the 9th aspect, the gain-making aspect, is on the Libra sign in the 3rd house. So Rahu is telling Jupiter that if you put in the effort in relationship, then I may ensure that you get good gains from it, but don't have very high expectations from the person, because that expectation may not be good. Rahu will mislead you into getting into a relationship with somebody from an expectation point of view who may not be the best for you, so be really careful here. Then Ketu's aspect. Ketu's 5th aspect is also on the Sagittarius sign, also on the 5th house, change in career, change in romance. So some status quo change with respect to career, with respect to romance, with respect to intimacy that you are involved in, the conjugal relation you are involved in is getting by for you. And Ketu is activating the 9th house of long distance travel. So Ketu is bringing about a status quo in your financial decision based on how you are changing your career or moving in long distance, because Ketu's 5th aspect is on the Sagittarius sign, which is also the 9th house of the Kalpurush Kundli. And Ketu's 9th aspect is on the 9th house. So surely long distance travel, moving up in the career, stature in society, new relationship, overcoming stability or having stability in your income, in your career, is also going to come by for Leo sign natives. Now for Virgo sign natives, few very good results are going to come by for you. One, Jupiter is going to move into your 10th house. So this is going to be an expansion in your role, expansion in your responsibilities, expansion in your earning, expansion in the kind of brand or work area that you're going to work in. Jupiter is moving away from your 9th house, moving into the 10th house. So this is bringing about that if you have done some education qualification lately, or if you're doing some education qualification, or you're doing some new learning and putting in the effort. Why effort? Because Gemini sign is also the 3rd house in the Kalpurush Kundli. So through the effort, through the new learning, through experiences, and through mentorship of somebody who you look upon, or some guru, or a boss, or authority figure, gains may come by for you. Expansion is also coming by for you, because Jupiter is moving from the 9th into the 10th house. And this is also important because Saturn's 3 aspects. The 3rd aspect is going to be on the 9th house, but from the 7th house, where Saturn is going to move into somewhere end of March or beginning of April. So Saturn is activating relationship. Saturn is aspecting the 9th house of second relationship, especially Jupiter moving into the 10th house and aspecting Sagittarius sign, which Saturn is also aspecting. So the domestic life, a change in domestic life, or an opportunity for change in the domestic life, which will also improve your stature, which will also improve new trajectory in life, new direction in life, new movement in life. How you're looking at life is also moving. This is a good placement for Virgo sign people, because Jupiter is going into a Kendra and Saturn is also getting into a Kendra, and Kendra from each other. Fantastic placement. And Rahu and Ketu going to move into 2 houses where they do very well. Ketu moving into the 12th house, but Ketu moving away from the Lagna into the 12th house, which means Ketu is saying strongly your karma is getting activated very, very strongly. So this year, what the results you do, what kind of relationships you get, what kind of partnerships you make, what kind of domestic stability you bring in your domestic life, Ketu is saying then the salvation, the moksha, the moving up in your elevating your soul chance is going to be given to you for this year. So very, very important placement for you. So surely domestic house can be stabilized, can be activated because of getting into committed relationship, maybe in a second relationship for some people, because Saturn is also aspecting the 9th house of second relationship. Ketu also aspecting your domestic life. This is also important because Rahu also aspecting, Jupiter also aspecting your 7th house. But why I said Ketu is because Ketu is also aspecting your 4th house with its 5th aspect, but more about Ketu later. So Jupiter aspecting your 4th house, Ketu aspecting your 4th house, Saturn aspecting your 4th house, which means some change in your domestic life, an opportunity being given to you where through that change, your moksha, your salvation, your peace of mind, all are getting activated also. How you work is also getting activated, and because Saturn's 10th aspect, the career aspect is also on the Sagittarius sign and the 4th house, which means some of you may also work out of home or do some work out of home, do some learning out of home, do even some guiding, consulting out of home. So that is also one area. But because Jupiter's aspect is also on the 2nd house, but in the sign of Libra, so Libra sign is getting activated, which means if you get into a relationship, especially for women, then your 2nd house is also getting activated, income is also getting activated. So committed relationship may also bring about a chance of enhanced income also. Now this is important because Rahu's aspect is also going to be in the Libra sign in the 2nd house. So through a relationship with somebody who's different from you, comes from a different religion from you, comes from a different ethnicity background from you, comes from a different region for you, even from foreign lands, getting into a relationship with that kind of a person may bring about enhanced earning because Rahu is also aspecting your Jupiter. And why this is important? Because the ruler of Aquarius sign where Rahu is getting into, Saturn is getting into your 7th house of relationship. So this is strongly getting activated. And as I said, Ketu's aspect is also on the 4th house of domestic affairs, domestic house and so forth. And Ketu's 9th aspect is on the 8th house. So the relationship may be connected to somebody who has matters of the 8th house. Somebody in the occult, somebody in the finance, somebody in insurance, somebody who's in IT, somebody who's in the healthcare industry, somebody who's in some healing, some problem solving career may also be, and that person may also come in from foreign land because Ketu is also in the 12th house. So that may also be there. So overall a good year for Virgo sign people, because except Saturn, no other aspect is on Virgo sign people. But for Virgo sign people, Saturn is ruling the 5th house and the 6th house, which is the Karaka. So overall a very good year for Virgo sign people, as long as the karma you are keeping in mind, relationship you are keeping in mind, and what role and responsibilities you're doing in your service at work, so you're keeping in mind. Now for Libra rising sign people, this is going to be a very, very important year. Firstly, it's going to be an important year because all 3 transits are happening within 1.5 months. Saturn is going to move into the Pisces sign in your 6th house, which Saturn is the Karaka of, end of March or beginning of April, you can say. Then Rahu and Ketu transit are happening in the 3rd week of May, and Jupiter's transit into Gemini is going to happen mid-May. So this is an important year because all 3 transits are happening. But the other important reason why this is an important year is because, one, there are going to be various influences on the Lagna. Jupiter's aspect is going to be on the Lagna. Rahu's aspect is also going to be on the Lagna. So this is going to be an important year from that perspective as well. Now let's start with Saturn. Saturn 3 aspect, the 3rd aspect is going to be on the planet or on the other sign, which is the sign ruled by Lagna. So Venus rules the Lagna, Venus also rules the Taurus sign. Saturn's 3rd aspect of effort is on the Taurus sign. So Saturn is saying that some of you are working in industries or you are in serving in industries where other people's money is concerned, where you're working in banking, where you're working in insurance, where you're working in taxation, audits, other people's money where it is concerned, where that if you serve and if you worked hard, Saturn will give you stable results. However, Saturn is also saying that keep a tab on your expenses this year. This is going to be an important year for expenses. Some of you may get sudden events because of which you may have to spend more money, because Saturn's 3rd aspect is on the 8th house of suddenness, sudden challenges, and the 12th aspect, 7th aspect is on the 12th house of waste and excess. So suddenly money expenses coming in. However, Saturn's 10th aspect, the career aspect or the work related aspect, is on the 3rd house of effort, but in the Sagittarius sign. Now this is important because Saturn is saying that if you put in the effort in your career in areas connected to the 8th house, Maybe you may get a very good opportunity of bringing stability in your expenses also. However, this is also important because Jupiter's aspect is also going to be on Sagittarius sign along with Ketu. All three, Saturn, Jupiter and Ketu, are going to aspect your Sagittarius sign in the third house of effort. So this is a key area for you. Especially this is key area because Jupiter is going to be aspecting both your Lagna as well as your third house of effort. So through effort, ninth house of gains, bringing in a better stature, standing in society to the Lagna. Very, very important placement for you, especially because Jupiter's ninth aspect is going to be on the Rahu in the fifth house. Now remember, the fifth house is the 8th to the 10th house. So this could be an effort that you're putting in by higher learning, higher certification, traveling, going to long distance travel. Through that, a career change is coming by through your effort, impacting your stature in society. So this is a very, very important denotation because Saturn's aspect is also going to be on the Sagittarius sign, the 10th aspect. So these are key results for you. Some of your relationships are also getting activated because Jupiter is aspecting the sign of Libra and the third house of effort and the fifth house of romance. So especially for women, this is a good placement because you may meet somebody who's slightly different from your culture, from your ethnicity, to fall in love with that person because the higher chances are either through some learning, through some workshop, or through travel also, through spiritual travel also. For some of you, it could even be through a network circle because Ketu's fifth aspect is going to be on the Sagittarius sign as well. So this is the key area because Rahu is also going to aspect your Libra sign in the Lagna apart from Jupiter, and Rahu is also aspecting your Jupiter from the fifth house of romance. So meeting somebody new, meeting somebody different in the long distance travel, in foreign lands, connected to learning, connected to experiences, connected to even spiritual journeys is getting very strongly activated. But Rahu is saying that don't make any speculative investments which are too risky this year because then you may end up affecting your gains, and there may be pressure at work also because your relationship also may be getting impacted. So be careful of what kind of decisions you make of speculative investments or taking risks in romance or getting into an affair with somebody while having a relationship with somebody. That attraction may surely come by for you. So this is an area which you need to protect throughout the year. Some of the other opportunities, some of the other attraction may keep coming by for Libra sign people throughout the year. This is more true for women and slightly lesser for men. Then the other thing is Ketu's aspect is going to be on the 7th house, which is the status quo change. And that's why it's important that you don't get into any untoward relationship with somebody outside of your committed relationship. Unless you're in no relationship, then obviously you can start off a new relationship. Whether you want to do it long term and all, you can take a decision later. But Ketu's 9th aspect, the change bringing, the status quo change bringing aspect is on the 7th house of relationship. So this is key. And because Ketu is also aspecting the Sagittarius sign, with Jupiter is also aspecting, Saturn is also aspecting. So effort surely is required in your social network. So the person you meet may also be through your social network. However, apart from your relationship, other connections may also come by from your social network, which may be good for you in the long run. So this is surely a strong placement for people. Put in the effort and you may get good results in your career, in your social network, in your relationship. Higher gains may also come by for Libra sign people. Now for Scorpio rising sign people, also this is going to be an important year for various reasons. One of the reasons is that Scorpio sign is the only other sign besides Cancer and Capricorn sign on which no influence of any planet is going to be throughout the year. No aspect or placement of any of these transiting planets. Saturn is going to transit into Pisces sign end of March or beginning of April. Jupiter is going to transit into the Gemini sign mid-May, and Rahu and Ketu are going to transit into your 4th house and 10th house respectively, 3rd week of May. In spite of the transits, in spite of each one of them having 3 aspects, Rahu and Ketu have 2 aspects, yet none of these aspects, none of the influences on the Lagna, and that's why an important year, which means you will have a free hand. So depending on which houses Mars is going to transit through the year, where Mars is placed in your natal placement, in your Lagna chart, in your birth chart, what yogas and doshas it is placed in, that will have a very, very strong bearing. So Mars is more or less given a free hand for this year for Scorpio rising sign people. Not for Aries, but surely for Scorpio rising sign people. So you can take advantage of that. Secondly, Saturn's 3 aspects are very important for you. Saturn is going to get into the 5th house and make an aspect, the 3rd aspect on the 7th house. So through a relationship of somebody who you like, there may be a relationship coming by. However, be careful of who you get into a relationship, because this is not going to be a short-term relationship, or the effects of the relationship that you may get in may be felt long-term. So for some reason, say for example, you meet somebody, you like somebody for 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months, a year or so, you are in a relationship, and then you break the relationship. But the consequences of being in the relationship or breaking the relationship may be felt for you long term, for many, many years. It may impact your relationship also. For example, getting married and getting divorced. This will have a long-term impact for you. Getting into a committed relationship with somebody and almost everybody in your society, your friend circle, everybody knowing. Then getting married. Obviously, that will impact your married life also. So what I'm trying to say is that any relationship, any partnership, any connections, any new entities that you get into a commitment, even business, even work, be very careful, because that is going to have a long-term impact. For some of you connected to work, you may establish new connections. Now, why work? Because Saturn is placed in the 5th house, which is 8th from the 10th house. And this is important because Ketu is moving into your 10th house within a span of a month and a half from Saturn's transit. So Ketu is changing the status quo of career. Ketu is saying, now make a change in your career, otherwise I'm going to force a change. And because Saturn is placed in the 5th house, 8th from the 10th house, so some impact on career is surely being felt for you. Absolutely, there's no point about that. So some impact in career, new role, new designation, promotion, growth change, new ups and downs, huge changes in your organization, huge changes in how you work is surely coming by for you. And this is important for you. The message for you is make new connections, make new friendships, make new stable connections. Firstly, the opportunity surely being given to you by the Zodiac itself, because Saturn's 7th aspect is on the 11th house. But you making new connections is important because Saturn's 7th aspect is on the 11th house, but in the sign of Virgo, which is the 6th house of the Kalpurush Kundli, which means overcoming competition, overcoming challenges, overcoming enemies through your friendships. New connections that you make will keep you safe of having untoward effects even at work, because Ketu is moving into the 10th house of changes. So making new connections, making new friends rather than making enemies is important for you, because this may have an impact on your earnings, because Saturn's 10th career aspect, 10th house of career aspect is on the Sagittarius sign in the 2nd house. Now this is very important because while Ketu goes into the 10th house, Ketu is also going to aspect with his 5th aspect, the gain bringing aspect in the Sagittarius sign, apart from Jupiter also aspecting that. So a change in your money, in your bank balance, in how you spend money is surely coming by for Scorpio sign people connected to your work, connected to the change in work. That's why it's important how you take decisions in the year for your career perspective. Now this is important, as I said, because Jupiter is also going to aspect the 2nd house of income, but also the 12th house of expenses, but from the 8th house, which means sudden expenses are coming for you, because of which your bank balance is getting affected. However, there is also a chance of good results coming, because Jupiter's 5th aspect, the gain aspect, is on the Libra sign in the 12th house, which means if you make new connections, new network, because of Saturn also aspecting your 11th house, then there may be larger gains, stable gains in your financial situation, in your financial security. Keep this in mind. Jupiter's 9th aspect is on Rahu, and Rahu is also aspecting Jupiter back. So this means that it's important for you of how you are taking decisions in your home life, in your domestic life, because that may bring about a change or bearing in your expenses, also in your financial situation. So some of you may find a change in your career or role in career, because of it there may be change in home, how you are doing, how you're connecting with your members at home. For example, late hours or change in the hours, change in the place of work, because of which you're spending less time or more time at home. Some of you may have more work from home. That kind of offer may be given to you. Some of you may be even making some changes at home, or even contemplating change at home, or making new investments, buying a new property also, which may impact your bank balance also. If you're buying new property, obviously your bank balance is getting affected, because Jupiter's 5th aspect is on the 12th house of waste and excess. So that is surely coming by for you, connected to work, connected to the domestic life. Now, because Rahu also aspects Jupiter back in the 8th house as well as the Libra sign. So what kind of relationships you're making, what type of connections you're making, especially if you're working in a consultancy, in an MNC, in foreign lands, is also coming by, especially for IT people. Because the Rahu's 5th aspect is on Jupiter in the 8th house. And it's critical because Saturn's 3rd aspect is going to be on the Taurus sign, the money sign. So the money areas are showing getting activated, because Ketu's aspect is on the 2nd house, Jupiter's aspect is on the 2nd house, Saturn's 10th aspect is on the 2nd house, Saturn is also aspecting with 3rd aspect, the Taurus sign, the money sign. So this is important, how or where you're spending your money, where you're making your investment, surely. And this is going to be a year where money is getting impacted not only by Ketu's aspect can change in your work, but also service. So those who are in service, Ketu is bringing about some change in the status quo, because of which the money wise, the stature, your upbringing, your stature and work, it's all getting impacted. So overall, a good period for those people who are working in IT, in the media. Wherever you are in the forefront, whether you are presenting the company, where you're the face of the company, where you're representing the company, or becoming the face, like movie stars is also representing the project. So IT, other people's money, all area careers getting connected to the 8th house, all are getting connected. But surely, overall year, good year for Scorpio sign people, where depending on where your Mars are, surely a change in career results are coming for you, change in how you live, how you're making your investments. But do your due diligence in your investments, because Saturn is in the 5th house, as well as what romantic relationship also that you get into. Now for Sagittarius sign people, this is a very, very important year for you. The most important year, if it is for anyone, this is going to be for Sagittarius sign people. Why? Because 2 of your Kendra houses are getting impacted because of Saturn moving into Pisces somewhere end of March or beginning of April. Jupiter moving away from the 6th house into another Kendra house, the 7th house. Ketu moving into a trine house away from your 10th house. So bring about a change, status quo in your career, and connected to long distance travel, connected to education. And all of them are going to impact your Lagna. Saturn's aspect is going to be on the Lagna, Jupiter's aspect is going to be on the Lagna, Ketu's aspect is going to be on the Lagna. So surely a very, very roller coaster ride for Sagittarius sign people. However, if you keep in mind how the transits are playing out, this can be one of the best years for you. Let's see how. Firstly, Saturn's 3 aspects. Saturn's 3rd aspect is in the 6th house, in the money sign of Taurus, but from the 4th house of domestic life. So if a relationship is coming by for you, because the Lagna Lord is getting into the 7th house of relationship, in partnerships, then the domestic life will be affected to either a new relationship, new purchase, new investment. Also, especially some conveniences, some assets, some home changes also coming, either through a committed relationship or because of expansion. And because your money sign is getting affected in the 6th house, and Saturn is also aspecting your 10th house. And with the 10th aspect from the 4th house, the Lagna, the 10th aspect of career, but in the Sagittarius sign, which is also being aspected by the Lagna Lord. So this is surely a time for change. A huge change is coming by for you, connected to home, connected to investments, connected to service, connected to career, connected to relationships. So in many, many areas, surely a roller coaster ride, but many opportunities throughout the year. Every 2nd month, 3rd month, some new thing coming for you, new development coming for you, a new adventure coming for you, a new result coming for you, a new effect coming for you, a new learning form coming for you, a new eye-opening thing coming for you. Through the year, Sagittarius sign, this is going to be surely one of the most learning periods, more eye-opening periods, more gain-making period, more experiences-oriented period, more turbulent period surely for you, a roller coaster ride surely for you, especially if you are working hard, as Saturn is wanting you to work hard in your career. Then a stable result in your career which will lead for the next 3-4 years, even for a decade. Very, very stable results in your career may come by for you. So this is a good year for Sagittarius people. Now, other aspect of this year is Jupiter's 3 aspects. One aspect of Jupiter is on the Libra sign, where Rahu is also going to aspect. So, because Jupiter is moving into the 7th house of relationship and aspecting the 7th sign in the 11th house of wishes and desires, so through your effort, because the Rahu is moving into the 3rd house of effort. So, through your effort, you bringing about a new connection in your social network, new relationship, because of which your Lagna is getting affected, which means your reputation may also be impacted. For example, the reputation may also be impacted for a woman who is now getting married. Establishing a 4th house, because Saturn is also moving into the 4th house. So that may also come by. Or buying a new home, moving into a new home, moving into a new city, that is also impacting how people see you, how people talk about you. And wishes and desires are coming through in a relationship, through a partnership. So partnerships, teamwork, relationship, new connection, new network circle, all are getting activated for Sagittarius sign people, but through effort. And how you communicate with people is also important, because Rahu's aspect is also going to be on Jupiter, but Rahu's aspect is also on the Libra sign in the 11th house. So how you communicate, what kind of branding you do, how you come across to people is very, very important for you. So relationships are getting activated, social network is getting activated, working in larger brands is getting activated, wishes and desires coming, good is coming and getting activated, as long as you're not misled by Rahu. Stability at home is getting activated. Now, the other important thing is Ketu's aspect is going to be on the Lagna, on the Sagittarius sign, with Jupiter and Saturn are also aspecting, but from the 9th house of gains, but also changes, experiential learning. Now, where is Ketu moving away from? From your career into your 9th house. So, Ketu is bringing about a change in your career, or where you work in your career, moving into the 9th house, which means if you learn through your experiential learning, or adding some qualification, or using new qualification, adding some certifications, then this can be a huge impact, a stable impact on your Lagna, on your stature in society, in your designation, in your standing in society, in your role in society, all are getting activated. Now, this is also coming by for some of you through a career change, because Ketu's 9th aspect is on the 5th house, which is the 8th from the 10th house, which is the career sign, career house also, or change in career house. So this is bringing about a good result for you. Now, why this is important, career change is important, because Jupiter's aspect is also on the Lagna. Saturn's aspect is also on the Lagna. So effort is getting activated along with long distance travel, along with learning. So number of results are surely coming by for you. So overall, this year is bringing about huge opportunities in career, in relation, in money, in earning, in your social connections. So make the best use of this year, Sagittarius people. You can really be on the roll in this year. Now, for Capricorn sign people, this is going to be a year where, again, apart from Cancer and Scorpio sign, this is the only sign which will have no bearing on the Lagna at all. No planet is going to be on the Lagna, no planet aspect is going to be on the Lagna. So free run for you. However, this also depends on where Saturn will move into, and Saturn is moving into the 3rd house somewhere end of March or beginning of April, and where Saturn is placed in your natal chart, what yoga, dosha that is placed in, where it is, whether it is retrograde or combusted, how it is placed in the natal chart is going to have a huge bearing on it. This is important because Saturn's 3 aspect, one aspect, the 3rd aspect is on the money sign, Taurus sign, but in the 5th house, which means through a career change, money is getting impacted, connected to 12th house of foreign lands, expenses. Now, this is a very important aspect, Saturn's 10th aspect, career aspect on the 12th house of foreign lands. But in Sagittarius sign, long distance travel is getting activated because Saturn's 10th aspect, career aspect is on the 12th house. So something related to long distance travel connected to career. Also because Saturn's 7th aspect is also on the 9th house of long distance travel, but in the Virgo sign. The Virgo sign is the 6th house, natural 6th house of the Kalpurush Kundli, the 6th house of service. So service is getting activated, money is getting activated through a change. Why change? Because the 5th house is the 8th to the 10th house. So this is very, very important. Now, the reason why it's important, is not only because Saturn's aspect is on the Sagittarius sign, the 12th house, but Jupiter's aspect is also going to be on the Sagittarius sign, on the 12th house. Apart from Ketu's 5th aspect is also going to be on the Sagittarius sign in the 12th house. So Jupiter is aspecting the 12th house from the sign of service. So this is surely getting activated. Very, very important year for Capricorn sign people. Foreign travel, going to foreign lands, foreign connections, foreign consultant, working in some way with foreign clients is impacted because, or activated because Jupiter is placed in the 6th house of service, and with this 5th aspect is aspecting the 10th house of career, work. And Saturn is aspecting or influencing Jupiter's both signs. Saturn is influencing the Pisces sign where it is moving into, and with the 10th aspect, the Sagittarius sign, which Jupiter rules. So surely this is a strong period for Capricorn sign people where something connected to foreign lands, expenses, waste and expenses, extra effort is also getting activated. But if you keep good relationships, if you make good relations, then this can be a very good year for Capricorn sign people. So the emphasis of this year is going to be relationship. The emphasis for this year is to overcome competition. Emphasis for this year is to make friends and turn your enemies or competition, try and turn them into enemies or at least acquaintances, or they should look at you neutrally rather than look at you as competition. So overall that year is getting activated. Then the other thing is Jupiter and Rahu are going to be in mutual aspect throughout the year, and Rahu's 9th aspect, the gain making aspect, is also on the Libra sign in the 10th house, but Rahu is placed in the 2nd house of earning. But the ruler of Aquarius, the 2nd house, Saturn, is going into the third house of effort, but Saturn also rules the Lagna, which means through your effort, earnings are getting impacted or enhanced because Rahu is placed there, so the hunger and greed for more money is there. Rahu is also aspecting Jupiter, which is also aspecting Libra along with Rahu. So career is strongly getting activated. Relationships are getting activated. Social network is getting activated. Foreign lands are getting activated. Expenses are getting activated. High effort is getting activated. All these areas are getting activated. And Ketu is also jumping in because Ketu is also aspecting Sagittarius sign in the 12th house from the 8th house. So sudden events are going to get you to foreign land. Sudden events may get you into a new company. Sudden events are getting you into a new role. Sudden events are getting into a new change, also connected to your domestic life, connected to home. Changing your home may also come by for you, for some of you. So do keep in mind that this year is going to be surely a year of some opportunities, where Saturn is given a free run because there are no impact directly on the Lagna. No planet is aspecting it, surely is there. However, this year, the more effort that you put in, the better relationships you make, and how you are going to use opportunities coming from the foreign land, foreign connection, foreign company. This is going to define not only the next year for you, but the next decade for you. Now for Aquarius sign people, a very, very important year for you. Firstly, Rahu and Saturn are going to transit, they are going to cross each other and move into or exchange houses. Rahu is going to move away from your Pisces sign into the Lagna. Saturn is going to move away from your Lagna into the 2nd house in the Pisces sign. Now why this is important is because Saturn is going to influence both the signs ruled by Jupiter. The Pisces sign ruled by Jupiter because Saturn is moving into the Pisces sign, and with its 10th aspect, it is going to aspect the Sagittarius sign. With its 10th aspect, which is the other sign ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is also going to aspect Sagittarius with its 7th aspect, and Ketu is going to also aspect the Sagittarius sign with its 5th aspect. So Sagittarius sign is surely under the influence. Jupiter's both signs are under the influence of Saturn also. Rahu getting into the Lagna is also important. Enhance hunger, enhance greed, enhance yearning for better role, better stature, better placement in society, better health. Overall, you want good results, better results in almost every area of your life because of Rahu moving there. Now, this is important because if you look at Saturn's 3 aspects, Saturn's 3rd aspect is on the 4th house of domestic life, but in the money sign of Taurus. So, from the 2nd house of money, banking, bank balance, not banking, bank balance, money in the bank, your family, your assets, your lineage, from there, and from the Pisces sign of foreign lands. And foreign lands are important because Saturn also rules the 12th house. Saturn with 3rd aspect is aspecting the 4th house, which means through effort, because the third house is the third effort aspect, is the aspect of effort. Through effort, you make more money, bring more money into the home, and through that your wishes and desires are also fulfilled. So wishes and desires are getting fulfilled through more money, more stability in money, enhanced money, but through some connection with foreign lands, foreign enterprises. Why foreign? Rahu is also getting into the Lagna. And wishes and desires also coming true. And why wishes and desires? Because apart from Saturn's 10th aspect, the career aspect on Sagittarius sign, Saturn's 8th aspect is going, 7th aspect is on the 8th house, but in the Virgo sign, the 6th house of the Kalpurush Kundi. So service is getting activated, getting connected to money, getting connected to home, domestic life also. So there may be some change in your domestic life because of new enhanced earning, especially for those people whose careers are connected to the 8th house. Mysteries, research, oil, natural gas, jewelry, IT, performing arts, media, insurance, taxation, all of these careers are getting activated. Now this is also important because Jupiter is going to aspect the Sagittarius sign also in the 11th house. So new connections are being made, new romantic liaisons or new connections may also be made, because from the 5th house of romance, Jupiter is aspecting Sagittarius sign in the 11th house. But Ketu is also aspecting the Sagittarius sign from the 7th house of relationship. So through a romantic relationship, a new relationship is coming by. Why new relationship? Ketu is moving away from your 8th house into your 7th house. Ketu brings about a change. It's a negator or a change bringer, status quo changes. So Ketu moving into 7th house is also bringing about a status quo change in how your relationship is. So Ketu is saying a new relationship may come by through a romantic liaison, through your friendship, through your social network, which may bring about a change in your commitment results. So whatever the status of your commitment is, if you are in a committed relationship, then be careful. Don't be in a hurry to get out of the committed relationship, because this may have an impact on how society sees you, because Ketu is also aspecting with his 5th aspect the 11th house of the society, a friend circle. And Jupiter's from the 5th house of romance is also aspecting the Libra sign, the sign of relationship in the 9th house of gain, but long distance travel also. So through a long distance travel or through learning or through new experiences or having bad experiences in your poor or earlier relationship, you get into a second relationship. Through that, you may also get in connection with through some friend circle, through a social connection, but your social connection will surely be under focus throughout the year. And this is also important because Rahu's aspect, mutual aspect, is going to be on Jupiter throughout the year. And Rahu's aspect is also going to be in the Libra sign. Jupiter is also going to aspect. So surely relationship, long distance travel, experiential learning, travel is getting activated. So you may have a number of short distance travel throughout the year. Why throughout the year you may have short distance travel? Because Ketu's 9th aspect is on the 3rd house of short distance travel. So throughout the year, some travel, some change is coming by for you constantly. Because the 12th house Lord Saturn is also moving into the 2nd house and putting the 3rd aspect on the 4th house. So moving away from home regularly for short distance travel, short travel also come by for you. This is important for you, especially with Rahu in the Lagna. Some of you, even foreign travels may come by for you. Then this is also important, as I said, Ketu's 5th aspect is on the Sagittarius sign in the 11th house of wishes and desires. So some wishes and desires surely are coming good for you. Some of them may have to wait. Some of the wishes and desire from a relationship point of view, you have to be careful before you go ahead, because it can give you either results, very good results, but challenging results also. But Ketu from the 7th house aspecting the 3rd house of effort, which means surely in relationship some effort will have to be there. And Jupiter going into the 5th house of romance, so the year is saying please keep the romance alive, keep the happiness alive, keep the love and affection alive also, rather than to focus too much on yourself, because Rahu is going into the Lagna. Also relook at your relationship, relook at your connection, because the Libra sign is going to be under the effect of both Rahu and Jupiter. Now lastly but not leastly, Pisces sign people, very important year for Pisces sign people, because firstly Pisces sign is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter's both signs are going to be under the influence of Saturn. One by virtue of Saturn moving into the Pisces sign in the Lagna, that too. But Saturn is also going to aspect with its 10th aspect the Sagittarius sign, which is the other sign ruled by Jupiter. But Jupiter is also going to aspect Sagittarius, as well as Ketu is also going to aspect Sagittarius. So this is surely going to be an important year for Pisces sign people because of Saturn going into the Lagna. So what this means is whatever results you get, whatever effects that you do, whatever actions that you do, this will have a long-term bearing on you, on your relationship, as well as your career, as well as your status, standing in society, your respect in society. So any move that you make are very important. Now, why this is important is because Saturn rules the 10th and the 11th house, 11th and the 12th house going into the Lagna, while aspecting the 10th house with the 10th aspect. However, Rahu is going to be in the 12th house and Saturn's smooth trikona sign, which means through hunger and greed, unnecessary wishful thinking, large thinking, unrealistic planning, you may do things connected to career which may not bring the results for you, and you may be stuck up in the role for a long period. So be very, very careful of how you bring about a change in your career. Why career? Saturn's 10th aspect, career aspect, the karma aspect, the work aspect is on the 10th house, but Jupiter's aspect is also going to be on the 10th house along with Ketu. But Jupiter's 9th aspect is on Rahu in the 12th house, which means the career may be connected in some way to foreign lines, foreign consultation. However, some of you may make bad plans to go abroad, bad connections, or bad planning to go abroad, or you may not take up the good role in foreign companies or with foreign clients or foreign consultants, because of which your career may get affected. Why career? Because Jupiter's aspect, Saturn's aspect, as well as Ketu's is on the 10th house of career, but Jupiter's 5th aspect is on the 8th house of turbulence in relationship. And Rahu's aspect is also going to be on the Libra sign, the sign of relationship in the 8th house. So ups and downs may come in your career because of how you're treating your relationship, your connections at work. So be very, very careful of how you're making those changes, because once those results come by, Saturn's aspect also on the 10th house, it will not allow you to make the status quo changes easy. However, any good results that you get in this year, you may sustain with it for more than 2.5 years surely. Saturn is going to remain in your Lagna for 2.5 years. But even for long-term impact may also come by for you. Almost till a decade you may feel the results which may come by for you. This is also important because Rahu and Jupiter are going to be a mutual aspect, and Rahu is also impacting your Libra sign, the sign of relationship, but in the 8th house of turbulence, from the 12th house of waste and excess. So not being able to treat your relationship well, getting into wrong relations, getting into a bad equation with relationship, because of which tough results coming by for you. And Ketu is also jumping in because Ketu is also aspecting with his 5th aspect of gains on the 10th house, but with his 9th aspect of gains, the 2nd house of income. So Ketu is saying the gains that may come to your career may come from a change in your service or how you see service. And your earning is also getting impacted because the 9th house, the long distance travel, through that earning may also get affected, especially because Rahu is going into the 12th house. So overall, a very fantastic year for Pisces sign people. Whatever results that you take connected to your career, connected to work, connected to relationship, connected to your home, connected to how you're moving away from home, new relations you're getting in, new service you're taking up, new investments you're making in, that may have a long-term impact for you. So overall, for Pisces sign people, opportunity surely given to you, but the more you work hard, the more you look for stable results and relationship, the year is going to be a very, very stable year for Pisces sign people. So friends, now that we have seen how the transits are going to play out for different rising sign people, to see where these transit planets are going to move into what houses for you, what roles they are going to bring up for you, new results they are going to affect for you, and in what doshas or yogas they are placed in your natal chart apart from your Lagna Lord, because these all will bring in a new flavor for you in the new year. So however, this year is going to be one of the most important years. Focus on this year and may you get the best results through this year. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me, the link given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide your fan signing off. Ciao.